I know what you're thinking. You weren't expecting me to be here. I wasn't expecting me to be here. And yet, here we both are. I'm doing Pickems. I decided to do Pickems. I did not think anybody gave a shit about me doing Pickems, but then people brought up Pickems and were asking me about my Pickems. So here we are. It is tradition, I guess. I have done a lot of these Pick'em videos over the years for the previous majors and whatnot for a while now. Not super consistently, but I usually get videos out for this, so fair enough. I guess I'll do it. Um, Full context, I have not watched that much CS the last month or so. I've kept up with it, like I know what teams I've been playing in the last couple of events and stuff like that, and so I've been monitoring it, I guess you could say, but haven't really been following super closely. I did follow super closely for the first, I'd say 4 months of this season, so I pretty much know where these teams are at. Was watching a lot of CS at the beginning of the year, for the first few months, so yeah, I do have an idea of where all of these teams are at and how they've done, and although some of them I don't even fucking know, you can take a guess as to which team that might be. Um, and but it is tradition, so I'm here once again to do pick'ems. Um, I am gonna try to not take up too much of our time, frankly, because I don't really have that much of it these days. Currently studying for an exam, so um, using what little time I have to make this video. And it will be like that for the next couple of stages as well. But it does start soon, and there's 6 days left, so here we are. I guess we can just go straight into it. By the way, probably not doing timestamps. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. This is a one take kind of video. I'm not even editing this shit. You're getting it raw. Um, so, so here we go. Um, I'm just gonna be straight up. I mean, can't wait for the Thunder Down Under fuck your pick'ems, but I'm putting them in the fuck your pick'em spot. I even need to explain why I'm putting them in O3? I think everybody's putting them O3. I mean, look at the text of their name. I mean, I think that pretty much says all you need to know about why this team is probably going to be everybody's 0-3 pick and why they probably will win a best of one, upsetting everybody, and they'll be screaming "fuck your pick'ems" as they typically do. The team that's going to go alongside them, I debated picking one of these South American teams, but I'm actually going to go against that. I'm going to pick Lin Vision. Um, I don't know. The these Chinese teams have not been playing great recently, but I just don't like. I've always thought Tyloo was better than Lin Vision, even when times when Lin Vision has done better than Tyloo. I do think that Lin Vision is worse. They certainly have less talent. Um, and so if I had to pick one of the Chinese teams to be in 0-3, I would pick Lin Vision. I did debate Gaming Gladiators and Sharks. Gaming Gladiators is a pretty decent 0-3 pick. Uh, they are basically playing 4v5 with Phelps on that team. But who knows? Henny always likes to do some crazy shit and would probably win a best of one, or who knows? There always seems to be one team in stage one that you think is terrible and somehow makes it to stage three. So we'll see if that's Gaming Gladiators, but I don't think it will be. Clip this in preparation for that. Um, Now, in the 3-0 spots, I'm gonna put Heroic and Gamer Legion. I think the not just because their logos look basically the same at this point, because fuck creativity in this industry, I guess. But I think they're just by far and away. I don't want to say by far and away because these teams are pretty shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, look at these teams. I mean, these teams are terrible. It's a fucking joke that Stage One even exists in the major. This is some of the worst teams. I mean, the last major was like this too, but I mean, dude, these teams suck. Like, none of these teams are doing anything in this event. They're pretty terrible. But Heroic and Gamer Legion, I think, are at least competitive teams that have been around, and they'll probably make it through the stage, even if they don't go 3-0. They're probably likely to make it past stage one. Heroic is probably the team I feel the most comfortable with, just because they've been playing a lot of events throughout the entire season and are relatively consistent, about as consistent as any of these teams are in stage one. I know Bet Boom is another popular pick as well, but I mean, I will put Bet Boom to go through. I just don't know that I trust their consistency. They have a lot of talent, but sometimes they just completely fall apart for some reason. I don't know why, but they do. Basically, you look at the roster and you think they're pretty good and that they're gonna like crack into like the tier one space, and they just never do. They just sit in tier two forever. I don't know what it is with this team, but they just never seem to make it quite out of tier two and into tier one. Never happens. So, but I do think they're decent. I do think they'll go through. If I had to pick another team that I think might is probably gonna go through, I'm gonna say Big. I think Big will go through. Big have been pretty good for the most part, although they've struggled as of very recently. They've struggled a little bit. But I think they're a good team for stage one standards. I'll throw M80 in there. Kind of embarrassing that NA is like borderline probably like I could see a world where M80 and NRG don't make it through. Like these teams have been pretty disappointing this season, to be honest with you. Um, you could argue our M80 is even more disappointing than our NRG. At least NRG was actually good for a period of time at the start of the season. M80's just been like kind of mid ever since picking up JVA. They've just been kind of mid. Like they're, they might have some a good series, a good map, but they're not consistent. And I don't think the JBA pickup has really been that much of an upgrade, to be honest with you. It's at best been a side grade, if not a straight up downgrade. That's nothing. I don't have anything bad to say about JBA. I just think Hext is like he's just a good player. Like he's just a really smart, seasoned, good player. Um, for NA standards, obviously. Um, so I'll put them there. Um, I have not picked Liquid yet. I should put Liquid in there, even though I don't know, man. This team, I they should be good enough to make it through, but man, they're a disappointment. They're just always a disappointment. Alicia has been playing terrible recently as well. Just hasn't seemed to find his footing, although Malbs has been pretty decent, I guess. I don't know. This team's just another like it's like a bet boom. Like their roster looks good, but they just don't play up to their roster's ability. Um, damn. We're getting into some slim pickings here, boys. Um, these teams are all pretty terrible, to be honest. Bait has looked. I haven't really been too impressed with Bait this season in general. Um, like Slizzy's like okay, I guess, but I don't know, man. This team is just weird. They have some highs though. Maybe I'll slip them in at the end. I kind of want to put MIBR in there as well because of Insani. I just think he's so good that he could just carry them through the stage. Because these teams are pretty terrible, and I feel like he's just going to go nuclear on them. Um, but I could also see Sinners. Sinners has been decent. I would not be shocked if Sinners make it to stage two. They've been a team that's always been a borderline major team and just can't seem to make it. They finally did. They've been playing pretty good, honestly. Um, I could see a world where they make it through. If NRG plays really well, they could make it through. If Tai Lu plays really well, FlyQuest, I just don't. I haven't even really seen them that much recently. I don't even know how good they are at the moment. Otherwise, I'd maybe be a little bit more interested in them. I think if I ultimately have to pick, I think I am going to pick MIBR and Bait. Bait's a little bit of a name recognition pick, a little bit, I'll be honest. Like it's a little bit more of like a this team has played in some bigger tournaments. Um, generally they play pretty well. I think they should be good enough to get out of stage one, frankly. They just haven't really impressed me this season. MIBR is another team that's like not particularly impressive, but sometimes they're good. I just think Insani is just so good that he's just gonna smurf on everybody in stage one. Liquid, I feel obligated to put them in. M80 is probably the best North American team right now, which doesn't really say much, but I do think M80 has shown enough to make it out of stage, to be a stage two team. Big has been good for most of the season, I would say. They've been kind of a surprise of the season with Blame F as well, playing really well there. Bet Boom has a lot of talent, so I'm kind of betting on talent, to be honest, with these 3-1, 3-2 picks. I'm betting on some of these guys, except for, I guess, Bait. For the most part, I'm kind of betting on some of these guys to just smurf their way into and carry their team into stage two. Tai Lu has a lot of talent as well, but they haven't been particularly all that great. So I'm not going to bet on a Chinese team to go 3-1, 3-2 with the way they've looked recently. So I think this is what I'm going to go with for stage one. I think that's all I got to do, right? Save my picks. I think we're good there, right? I need to do anything else? I think that's it. Yeah, I think we're good there. So sorry about that. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is my stage one picks. You can disagree, but like you're wrong. I don't know. And we'll see how this goes. I guess. Fuck it, we ball. Can you tell that I'm very energized for this and that I I have a very very strong amount of belief in picking these dog shit stage one teams against each other. It's going to be a bloodbath, and unfortunately, not in the way that we would hope for. I imagine it's going to be a lot of pretty ugly Counter Strike to watch, similar to how the last couple of majors have been with this format. But this is what they want. This is what they get, and hopefully we our pickums will survive past the torture of stage one. And yeah, so until the end of stage one, I will see you guys next time for a review of our stage one mishaps, failures, most likely, probably a fuck your pickums from Thunder Down Under, or Lin Vision will magically make it to stage two, piss me off, and Heroic probably won't even make it because like that seems logical. Um, so so yeah, until then, until all those things that I've prophesized come true, I will catch you guys in the next video.